welcome. I'm Siinom. It is 2:33 South African Standard Time. Welcome to the ElliottWaveSpot crypto coverage. So I'm looking at a chart of Bitcoin here. The ticker symbol is BTCUSDT. I am starting from the weekly time frame. So basically, I just want to show you the current outlook of Bitcoin, based on the available data. So from the 2018 low right here, we counted it as wave one, two right there, which are I think we believed I believe we bottomed on the 9th of March 2020, and then wave three, and then we had I wouldn't say really an expanded flat wave four. I believe this is sort of a record. I don't think we exceeded the 105% retracement by wave B of A. And one of the things you'd appreciate here in this wave count is the fact that our wave 4 failed to overlap with our wave 1, so which is something good when it comes to the rules of the wave principle. So the most interesting part about this wave count is the fact that now we seem to be in wave 5, and one of the things that is allowing me to remain convinced is the slope analysis. For example, if you start from the origin of wave 3 right there, and then you project, this line up to the end of wave 3, and then you check now from like another slope, throwing it from like the end point of wave 4, which is the beginning of wave 5, you can clearly see right here, this slope is almost vertical in shape. I mean, it's almost vertical in angle, whereas this one is kind of like very shallow, which is now indicating that the market is indeed losing momentum, and that's what you like to see. Now, one of the things you will actually observe here is that if we measure actually the third wave, the length of the third wave itself, you will find that our fifth wave has much higher chances of extending, considering the fact that we have one, two, three, four in place, and then we seem to have an extending fifth wave of a fifth wave. Now, this phenomenon is commonly found in the commodities market, such as gold, silver, as well as the softs and the grain. So the reason for that, according to the book Key to Market Behavior, is the fact that there's fear. It's fear that is normally driving the markets to end up having the extended fifth wave. That is, people do not want to see the market drop, so they continuously back up, or propel the market by actually doing more transactions when we're actually in the fifth wave. And that's what you are going to see right now, because you can see even the media is closely following Bitcoin, something they were not doing, the right way for quite a while. Most of them would find that they were negative about Bitcoin. It's gonna go down to zero. And that's one of the things, by the way, the wave principle gets to explain. So we have wave one, two, three, four, and now we seem to have an extending fifth wave. So I think at 270, that's where wave 3 of this degree, which is Subminuette, will peak, I believe. And then we have a fourth wave that will sort of follow. So I believe so far within this, like unfolding fifth wave, this probably will be, now a powerful move. Because, well, we did see some huge momentum here, but then also given that we are within wave 3, even if it's wave 3 of 5, it's still a good way, or maybe it's like we should be expecting, more momentum from the market. Now, Bitcoin has a great tendency of ignoring, most of like the guidelines, like of volume and other things. For example, I mean, everything is mostly a guideline, like momentum, divergence, when you like checking the indicators. I remember last year seeing, no divergence between wave 3 and 5. I believe it was last year. So let me take you through the daily time frame. Well, there is not really there, except that you're just going to get a close look of the wave counts. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right about there, and you have your wave 2 bottoming at 74,508, And now we have 1, 2, of which degree number 12, which we now know as subminuette. So we have 1, 2 basically in wave 3, which is going to push higher. And we recently said that it's more likely, like for this wave 3 right here, to peak where at 270. So for now, I'm just gonna keep on following this scenario. Anyways, let me sort of remove this guy right here and actually project the fibs for you, so that you will actually get to appreciate, maybe the possible Fibonacci levels for this unfolding third wave within wave 5 of 5. So let me just project this. I believe, yep, this is where we are headed. Probably next at 189. That's where we are more likely to peak for this wave 3 of degree number 12, before we go down a little bit, maybe to around 158, before we continue to push high again for wave 5 of 3. So the current expectation would be that the market should, continue to push higher with much strength, like as much strength as possible. And then, yeah, that's so far what I'm expecting in Bitcoin, because chances of saying, well, this is wave 1, and then we have A, and then we have A, B, C. They're still there. They're still there. I think we're still within the range, but I don't see that, easily happening anytime soon. So I would rather stick to this wave count that suggests, an extension higher without a possible expanded or running flat wave 2. So on the 4 hourly now, this is where you get to appreciate a close look of this wave count. So let me take you to the 2 hourly, because I think it's better there. There, as you can see, 1, 2 already, we have it in place of degree number 13, which is micro, and then degree number 14, 1, 2, that's another thing. And then I did, visit the low time frames here for this wave count. It's 1, 2, and then you have 1, and then this running flat wave 2, and then 3, and then 4, an extended fifth wave right here, and then 1, 2, and then 3, triangle 4, which is a contracting variety, beautiful structure. So based on this mess here, and I think we are going to have, sort of like an extension higher to complete this fifth wave. Now, this extension might not be as elongated as our third wave from this low to this high was. Anyways, we should see the market pushing higher and not tagging this level, this 117. So I think as long as we're trading above it and then tag this level around here, we are still good. But also, given that this is the fifth wave, we can expect, say, structures like the ending diagonal. So we want to trade this wave, with all carefulness possible out there. Anyways, that's what I wanted to share, regarding Bitcoin. Oh, by the way, this is something I want you to note. Let me take you to the 4 hourly time frame, which is a phenomenon that most people are not aware of, even like the well-seasoned Elliott Wave analysts. So if you look here from this low of 98, 200, and then you start counting 1, 2, you look at your third wave right here. Obviously, it's extended. Why? Because you are seeing these exaggerated subdivisions right here. So it's 1, 2. But now I want you to note how we happen to actually trade below this lower boundary of the Kennedy base channel. This is the Kennedy base channel because we drew this channel starting from the origin of wave 1, and then we actually placed our first line right here at the end of wave 2, and then drew a parallel line and placed it at the end of wave 1 right here. So most of the time, or well, yeah, I'd say most of the time, what you want to see with the Kennedy base channel is to see the market actually trading above this boundary right here. Let me just highlight it for you. You want to see the market breaching this boundary and actually trading above it. So in this case, it will happen, but I don't think the way most of you would expect it, because We're looking at one of the rarest phenomenons within the wave principle, specifically the channeling, whereby Robert Balan in his book, and he quoted Elliott himself, he said, if the market happens to trade, in the case of a bull market, below the lower boundary of a channel, most of the time what will happen is the market it will move inside the channel with huge strength and momentum, and that's the first part that we saw. And then the second part proceeds to say that the market has higher chances, in fact more often than not, for it to trade far above or breach the upper boundary of the channel. So I do expect the market to breach, this upper boundary, and it would align well, with the guidelines of the Kennedy channeling technique, specifically the Kennedy based channel that we're seeing right now. So in overall, in Bitcoin, I want to be bullish because I think even if you took, indicators, let me say, the RSI, you look here, the RSI, we have like the highest high here. And if you check the MACD, we also have the highest high here. And that's a good thing. So far, I would love to like warn you, given that you can see this is the highest high, and even here at the same time the market, although it has created a new high here on these indicators, it hasn't, which is a sign of what, of a possible divergence in formation. So I think if we went to the hourly, we would get to see a zero line reversal to indicate that the fourth wave is indeed in play, and that's exactly what we get to see here. The fourth wave was indeed in play right about here, this level. And so, which means that the currently unfolding wave is in fact the final wave. Zero line reversal is like a beautiful thing and something that you get to appreciate, like mostly on the fourth waves when they are like complete. And then another part here, which is the market when it was retracing in a bull market, most of the time it will bottom within the RSI between the 40 and 50 levels. And that's what we got to see here. So I do think that people should be indeed careful here, because I think this is by far wave one and then wave two right about there. I think that's the case. If not, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it might be 1, 2, and then an expanded flat wave 2 and a push higher for wave 3. So both scenarios to me are happening at the same time, although I'm more inclined on this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1, and then wave 2, 3, 4, and then wave 5 right here. So I think this is 1, 2, and then we're currently in wave 3. Either way, both wave counts at the moment suggest that this is wave 3 that is currently unfolding. This can either be wave 1, 2, or wave 1, 2. It doesn't matter as long as we stay far above this 117 until we push and tag this 122 level within the like Bitcoin. Well, that does it for me today, everyone. I think we can call it a day. Have a good one.